Our Wyopreps fan voted small school game of the week this week is a 1 versus 2 showdown in 9-man, and it's the Lingle-Ft Laramie Doggers at number one hosting the second-ranked Pine Bluffs Hornets. And kind enough to join me as Lingle head coach Brandon Gifford. Brandon, thanks for a few minutes. And obviously, you guys are playing well. Otherwise, you wouldn't be undefeated. But how would you characterize where your team is at right now?
Yeah, anytime you're undefeated, of course, you feel good about it. Our kids are playing very well, and what's been awesome is we've gotten better every week. Every week we've gotten better. We found little things that we weren't doing well previously that we've improved at. We're a long ways from being where we want to be, but man, I've been very, very pleased with our kids' effort and our ability to improve each week.
What are you really nitpicking on right now for those kids to strive to get to improve in?
Yeah, just defensively, I recognizing and moving our feet, especially on our back end, our defensive backs. Sometimes we're doing a lot of sitting and staring, more so than we are moving our feet, making breaks on footballs. And I like I said, I am nitpicking. I'm being pretty technical here. Offensively, maintaining blocks. We're doing a good job of getting off the ball and making first contact. I'd like to see us continue to block more consistently downfield. So those are probably the two, one on each end that we're really looking for to kind of perfect these last couple games in the regular season.
You guys come off a nice road win last week at Southeast, and lo and behold, you're going to get another big-time test this week. Is that important for your squad at this time of the year to kind of be stressed, no matter it's offense, defense, special teams, so that these kids kind of maybe face a little adversity that maybe they haven't so far?
Yeah, very much so. Man, last week we played a good football team, and we come in and we've got another really, really good football team. And I think that's important. Win, lose, we're going to learn a lot from this game. No matter what the outcome is, we're going to learn a lot, and it's going to definitely help us moving forward, especially we get to playoff time. We need to be in those stressful environments, those tight games where little plays, even on special teams, make a difference. We need to be involved in those games, and we need to kind of see where we're at and be able to make adjustments before the playoffs come.
Talk a little bit about, with your team in particular, sometimes coaches have the mantra of, it's a big game, your big time players gotta step up and make plays. Do you kind of buy into that a little bit, or how do you approach a big time game like this?
Yeah, I guess our philosophy here in Lingle is, man, just go play football. And that's kind of been the way our team chemistry is built starting since last year. Is these kids have a unique knack just to play football. We call it chopping wood. Man, they go and chop wood every down, every play, every rep in practice, and then in the game. Just go play. Just go play football. Things don't go your way, keep playing football. And if you continue to do that, you find yourself with a shot to win a football game in the fourth quarter, usually. So that is the message, and it hasn't really changed for us. That's been our message kind of since the beginning of the years. Chop wood, keep playing football, and in the fourth quarter, hopefully you're going to have a shot to win the football game.
What are your impressions of Coach Gray's bunch that you get to host on Friday night?
They're talented, man. They're very, very talented. And I would say their physicality at the line of scrimmage, they're very, very physical, and they're very, very aggressive. I would say offensively, their passing game gets a lot of credit, but I'm telling you, they run the ball very, very well. They're a very balanced football team, and they're very efficient in the air. So they're able to move the ball efficiently, take good shots, quality shots on first and second downs, and they put themselves in third and shorts generally, right? So it's really easy for them to convert and keep drives going. So offensively, very efficient. Defensively, super aggressive, super physical, and they don't make a ton of mistakes.
So with all that in mind, what have you been emphasizing with your guys as some key things for you guys to do? Not asking for the game plan here, but to try and maybe tip the scales in your favor, Brandon.
Yeah, you bet. For us offensively, we need to make sure we're playing assignment football. They're aggressive. They're going to come at us. We need to make sure we stick to our assignments. Don't try to do too much. Don't overplay our hand. Don't do somebody else's job. That's where we're going to get in trouble. Where they're going to have free rushers coming downhill at us. So as long as we can play assignment football and not shoot our own selves in the foot, I think we're going to have a chance to move the football on offense. Defensively, it's going to be one of those where we need to make sure we keep them in front of them. If they're going to score, they're going to move the ball. They're very efficient. Let's make sure they string 6, 8, 10 play drives together versus giving up 2, 3 big plays. And then all of a sudden they're kicking off to us. Those are probably the two biggest things. If we can limit those kinds of mistakes, we've got a shot.
Brandon, thank you so much for the time and best of luck on Friday against the Hornets.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We continue talking about this week's small school game of the week. It's voted on by you, the fans, here at Wyopreps.com. It takes us to Class 1A 9-man, the 1-2 showdown with Pine Bluffs at Lingle-Ft. Laramie already talked with Lingle head coach Brandon Gifford. Now time to visit with Will Gray of the Pine Bluffs Hornets. And Will, your team's coming off a pretty dominant win in a big showdown. What did you see out of your team and their performance against Saratoga in particular?
I liked how physical we were. Saratoga came in a little banged up. They weren't at full strength. But we were physical and we were on attack mode, I guess.
Talk a little bit about how you keep that attack mode going into another big game like this.
Well, the biggest thing for us is if we approach it as, the game of all games or big games, then, we're probably going to put more pressure on the kids than we need. It's week 7. It's not going to make or break our season by any means. With that said, they're a very good football team and we have to be on point all week. But, our prep has to be like it is every week. And that's with the intent to get better every day.
Talk about, in games like this, to win big games, a lot of coaches have that mantra of, your big players have to step up and make some plays. Do you kind of carry that type of mantra or do you look at it differently, Will?
Well, we tell our kids we need the best version of them, and week to week with teenagers, you never know what that is. But if our kids come out and play to the best of their ability, then we're going to have a chance. If we don't, we'll struggle and, they'll probably whip us and then we'll have to lick our wounds a little bit and regroup. But, we're comfortable with the kids on our roster and, they're willing to go compete and lay it all out on the line.
Talk about your impressions of the Doggers and just what you're seeing out of Coach Gifford's squad right now.
Speed, man, and that's something we don't have. But they got 3 really good backs that they try and have balance with and give all 3 of them the ball in different situations. The quarterback's able to throw the ball. They don't a lot, but if they ask him to, he's very capable of doing that. He's got some good receivers on the outside, a good tight end, and defensively, they have a lot of kids that can tackle in open space. In a 9-man playing on a regulation field, open field tackling is big, and there's not a lot of open space against their group.
You've talked about the best version of yourself. About the Doggers. So what does a game like this come down to for your team without giving away your game plan or anything?
It sounds simple, blocking and tackling, which isn't simple. But if we block and tackle, we'll have a chance. A year ago, we blocked and tackled for 2.5 quarters. And then for whatever reason, we stopped and they made some adjustments and they did the blocking and tackling and came back and got us at the end.
And you kind of emphasized it that this isn't the end all be all. You got some things set down the road, but this can certainly kind of put you in a good position. I would imagine it's kind of what you're telling the kids at the same time almost.
Yeah, absolutely. If we do a lot of good things and we I think it wraps up the conference for us, which is some home field advantage. But if not, we got another game next week to get the 2 seed. So we just got to block and tackle and go play.
Well, thanks again for the time. Wish you best of luck Friday in Lingle.
All right, thanks, bud.